All right, cool. We open live.
Hey!
What's up, everybody?
How's it going, Lee? How's it going, Matthew? Lovely to see you both over here in the studio.
All right, starting the Tuesday edition courtesy of Pantera. Woo! Okay, that takes me down to back to 1993 when I was on some stage at some crappy bar in Wilmington, Ohio. And they didn't know if they wanted to let us come back because they said that we didn't bring in the girls, and you got to get the girls to get the money. So that's my experience. So what the heck? Welcome to another pre-Bowtie Up. We might as well just call it Bowtie Up Live. We just haven't put all the bells and whistles on it. But what do you think? How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing great, especially because we already have to stop the show and say hello, which is one of my favorite things to do. Hello out there to Mr. David Alto jumping in early with the first comment saying he loves some Pantera. We all love Pantera too.
David,
are you talking to me?
Buddy?
I'm a funny guy. James Lane jumping in as well, saying shh. Now I have to ask though, you have that lion after your name. What is that, James? I've seen that 4 times today, and I do not understand it.
I know this one.
No, I want to hear from James. I want to see James in the comment dropping what the lion is. He's got me curious. We listen to you all day, Lee, or at least I do. So. Get enough of you.
Touche.
I want to hear my homeboy James over here has to say. That was Lee.
All right.
Wow, that's Lee too. This way. That is James. That is
I got it easy.
James. Lee.
All right.
Lee.
What's up?
Then, oh my gosh, I got it wrong too. And it's the other hand if I want to drop to you, Matthew, too. This is a mess. And then we have to stop the show and say hello again to Christopher Nesbitt. Thank you, sir, for jumping on. Nice to see you again. And James says LinkedIn open networker. That's what a lion is. Yeah, that's cool, right?
Yeah.
Does that just mean you're open to connections? Or what?
Yeah, well, that's how my understanding it is that you're not the kind of douchebag who doesn't want to connect with anybody who has under 10,000 connections or who isn't,
Why would you ever get to that point on LinkedIn? That just doesn't seem wise.
Conceit. I don't know. It's one of the 7 deadlies.
We have to introduce our tremendous guest for today, which is none other than the one and only Matthew Perkins. Matthew, take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you got going on, and why you are incredible, my friend.
Thanks, Alex, man. I really appreciate you guys having me on the show to help promote these couple of things we got going on. We actually have a few irons in the fire right now. So the biggest thing we're trying to get off the ground is called Infinity Streamers. And the goal behind this is it's kind of been an evolving concept. And now we're just going to go ahead and start a streaming platform where we kind of filter edutainment. Thank you, Lee Rowley, for that tag. So we're creating an edutainment network where people can just come and enjoy shows like this one, where it's both informative and educational for them. So they'll be able to get that kind of value and spend their time being entertained, so it doesn't feel like you're putting in a lot of work. We've recruited about 24 streamers right now, so we are getting ready to launch next week, right around the 12th. That's a little bit flexible with our website design to make sure we can have it up and functioning for you guys by then. So right around the 12th, feel free to follow at Infinity Streamers on LinkedIn. We do have our company page up and ready to go. And so we'll be bringing that to you guys. So look forward to some edutainment. The other 2 cool things that we have going on right now is I'm partnered with Christopher Nesbitt and Janayat Iqbal and Sid Badia from Switch Events. And we're hosting the Fresh Start Seminar tomorrow, April 8th at 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be having Monique Davis is going to put on a presentation for us on how to find work in this particular atmosphere. A lot of people are out of work right now and looking for work remotely for the first time. So we're kind of empowering them. All attendees will receive a ATS-friendly resume format in their email. We're going to release some podcast episodes from nodegree.com on the subject. And we'll be sharing links with companies that are hiring right now, both remotely and boots on the ground. So do feel free to come by and check us out. You can either follow Infinity Streamers or feel free to connect with me, and I will get you those links for the job fair or the Fresh Start seminar that we're having tomorrow. We also have some recruiters available and career coaches and executive coaches that will each have tables that you can come and kind of get some information on interviewing remotely tips. A lot of people haven't done an interview in a remote environment. There are some different things you got to get used to for that and be prepared for. So come by and get those tips. After that event, we will be kicking off the INFA networking event, which is essentially a LinkedIn local networking event that will last 24/7, 365 once we launch it off. So, and there you can come and kind of get that face-to-face interaction and a closer personal connection with people and really build those bonds up like you were talking on the show yesterday. Comment, connect, comment.
The Golden Sea!
Yes, the Golden Seas.
So I pop in here to say, see the Golden Sea. I love the Golden Sea. It was a great conversation with Mr. Sidney Jones. Shout out to Sidney. And Rob House. Shout out to Rob for coming up with that with us. It was absolutely incredible. And Matthew, we are thrilled to have you here today. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Pleasure. We've got a couple of hellos to say, but I do want to touch on one thing really quick. Is that, Matthew, I know you were talking about the job fair tomorrow. Is that going to be in Remo?
That will be on Remo, which is the new office hosting platform.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of almost all ages, let's say 18 plus, even though you're not children, because you shouldn't be on LinkedIn if you're not. Anyways, Matthew here has got a awesome solution for hosting virtual meetings in a large group setting, for breaking out into groups and for really fostering interactivity. So Matthew, I'll let you talk about that in just a second, maybe a little bit of an overview about the platform and what we're going to do with it, with what you're using Remo for and your partnership with them. But we've got to say hello to a couple of our friends in the audience, and I'm going to go bottom up just because I always waste so much time scrolling. Hello to Mr. William Stock, seeing you for the first time today, saying hi again. Hello, my friend. How is everything going? I know you were wrestling with your brand name last time. Do you come up on a determination if you're going to do that or not? Let me know in the comments below. We've got Mr. Ian Tiska jumping in, saying house party. Yeah, it is a house party. Yes. We're at a house, this little triangle we got going on here, and then all of you in the audience here, the rest of the pyramid. We got this. Wonderful party. And we have also, did I see Jeff jump in here? Jeff Adams, hello, my friend. Thank you for joining us today. We had Samantha Childers jumping in saying hello. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you're having a great day today. And to everybody out there watching, listening, either before, during, or after, welcome and thank you for watching. Y'all are great and phenomenal. And today we are joined by Matthew Perkins, who is now going to resume his talk on virtual meetings, hosting, and the cool platform that he's utilizing to make it easier. Matthew?
Yeah, so Remo is really awesome. We're using Zoom like everybody else to try and get connected. And it was just, there's some quirks that I didn't particularly care for, and you don't really get that interconnection. You start getting 15 or 20 people lined up, and it just becomes chaos, in my opinion. So I started looking around. We found this platform, Remo. It's been out for about a year now. And they have a killer dev team, but not so much of a marketing team. So no one's really heard of them much. I went ahead and shared the link to the career fair in the comments for tomorrow.
Check out those darn it, I pointed to Lee. These are the comments. You guys over here, you are the comments. Check out the comments over here to find what Matthew's talking about. It's a link to Remo. You will not be disappointed. Sorry. Thank you, Matthew.
Of course. And so the things that Remo kind of does better than Zoom is right in your profile, you can click on people's avatar, and it has their LinkedIn connection right there. So you can connect with them right there on Remo. And you can share your whatever digital scheduling app that you use, whether it's Calendly or so forth, so they can schedule meetings with you. It's also set up like an actual office space. So there are desks and breakout rooms available that can be...
Is it okay if I share my screen? Because I've actually got Remo up. Darn it, I'm pointing to the wrong way again. I've got Remo up, so I can actually drop that over so that all you guys out here can see.
Ooh, this is a first. Is this a first?
This is a first.
This is a bow tie up first. And should we say, well, yeah, go ahead.
Give me just one moment while I try to.
While he's working on the thing, please enjoy. No, go ahead.
Boom.
Okay, so we have got the Remo conference. Let me close some other things here.
Go.
All right, so this, guys, is Remo. And Matthew, just guide me, tell me what you want me to do, if you want me to do anything to expand whatnot and show different functionalities. But this is what we're looking at, guys.
Yeah, so basically what we can do is, I should have jumped in that office with Alex, and I could have shown you around as well. Good thought.
Man, I'm just on your link.
Fair play.
Chilling here in Infinity Streamers. So watch this, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at my mouse right now. You see my little hand icon over on the right-hand side of the screen. And this is where I am. I'm sitting right here in this seat, and we're going to see some magic here in a moment once Matthew jumps in. And this is kind of that table-like environment that we were talking about. So let's say I want to go over here to the math table. I need some help with some math. Boom, I'm moved. I'm in a different channel, kind of Discord-esque type interaction there. And so I can move around. You know, you can do speed networking like this. You can do speed dating like this. You can do your conferences like this. You can have those breakout groups here. You can have coaches. Man, you can have anything. Like this is an awesome platform.
A couple of the really nice features, and I do have a number of browsers open, so it's taking me a moment. Darn equipment. But a couple of the cool features you have as an admin on Remo is you have the ability to start a timer and set it for as many repetitions and for as long as you wish it to be, along with the ability to set a break in between each repetition. So as you were talking about the speed networking and speed dating and all those kinds of events, you do have the ability to set a timer and allow people to move, or let them know when it's time to move over to another table. So you do notice we have the banner ads in the top or on the sides, which is very nice. They come with actionable links on them. So if you are hosting an event, a sponsored event, you have the ability to bring sponsors in and direct traffic that way. One of my favorite things we're doing with this platform right now is beginning to host a comedy club. And so as a presenter, we will have our comedians jump out there and be able to do their routine, so on and so forth, and then you'll be able to network with them at the tables afterwards. So that's pretty cool. And what we're doing for them is, as you know, the entertainment industry is kind of sitting idle at the moment. Can't really gather around. So we're sharing their affiliate links, their cash apps, and so on and so forth, so that you'll be able to tip out your performers there.
Oh, right on.
But another
really cool.
Thank you. But as far as office space goes, I am finding it super amazing. I have had a lot of high-profile interviews in the last week or two as we're getting Infinity Streamers off of the ground. You'll notice I do not have a bow tie. I rock the indoor hobo.
Yes. Love it.
Indoor hobo. So
It's
really impressive that at the end of the day, I'm having a meeting with this person, and they're in a suit, and I've seen more cherry wood and mahogany than the last week than I've seen in my entire life. At the end of the day, we're having this meeting in my office because they don't have one, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Love it.
So it's very, very nice for that aspect and very cheap. Remo has offices for $10 a person. We're actually setting up side office space for $10 an office a month, just to kind of get people out there and able to pivot in that remote environment and allow you to make your business look that much more professional.
I love it, man. And also, I do want to point out here, guys, because you can see my screen. Notice how I can go around both of us. We've got Matthew in the room with us here, and what he was talking about earlier with that connect on LinkedIn, it's so simple. I just click on this little button with the icon of him, and this can be anybody. And then as long as they've got their LinkedIn profile connected, you can just click connect, and instantly it's going to open LinkedIn. Which actually there, you can see it in the other tab. It is that simple, and boom, we're able to connect and message Infinity Streamers on LinkedIn, which if you are not doing, make sure to go follow Infinity Streamers business page and also drop a connection request to my dude Matthew, who is down here now, and Lee is up there. My comments are over here, maybe.
Yeah.
That's where my screen. These arrows get really confusing.
The comments are getting hilarious too, so
Yeah, you guys are rocking out in the comments, which brings me up to saying hello to Charlie Powers joining us for the first time today. Thank you so much for jumping in
What's
here.
up?
Hope you'll sit and stay a while. Lovely to see you, and hope
Please
you're having
do.
a wonderful, wonderful day. We are going over Remo and Virtual Office Space right now with Matthew Perkins. It's going to be a great show, so stick around and hang out with us for a while. Ian, shout out to Ian for dropping a shout out on Facebook as well about Remo. Thank you, sir. Keep up the great work. We're very, very happy to have all of you being so wonderful. And you're not looking for understandable. Wilton Rogers jumping in saying hello, my friend. He said this is going to be a great conversation, and you are not wrong. We have a lot of cool things on the agenda today. And one thing that I love about Matthew, we're just going to brag about you a little bit here, is that you're really, really working to try to push things forward and to provide help for people right now. So for those of you out there, we're talking about a job fair that Matthew is helping to host or hosting tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
We're also doing starting that Infinity networking stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. And he has this Remo environment, what Infinity Streamers is doing with the edutainment kind of sector, which of course none other than Lee Rowley coined that word, which are we really surprised?
It's not mine, man.
But that's yours now.
I pilfered it.
That edutainment is so important, and we hope that it's going to bring a lot of value to all you guys out there. So we definitely encourage you stopping by that job fair tomorrow if you are looking for work. And if you are not looking for work, I bet you're looking for a virtual office space. So give Remo a check out. I think that would be awesome. Let us know what you think. Don't be afraid to drop a comment over there. Let us know what's going on in your mind. We've had a couple of people saying that it is cool, as a cool app, and it is. It's a phenomenal app, very, very convenient.
And if you need a demo of the app or anything like that, feel free to contact me. We are doing demos intermittently, but we're growing to setting them up weekly so that we can do them in groups. But if you'd like a one-on-one demo of Remo, just kind of to feel out how it might fill your needs and let us know what your needs are, then we're happy to show you around.
And we also had a comment about House Party as an app for like hanging out. I haven't personally used it, but I'm sure it is tremendous. There are a lot of like those virtual connectivity apps.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to Google. A3, my company, we're a Google Cloud partner, and they made their Google Hangouts Meet enterprise functionality of simultaneous meetings with over 100 participants. It's up to 1,000 now, and recording your session available to G Suite users. So if you need a better solution and you're one of the people who is no longer using Zoom because of the security concerns, also feel free to reach out to me and I can hook you up there. So moving on, let's talk a little bit about this job fair, Matthew, that you've got going on. And how people can get involved and get to it, and what's going on with this Fresh Start. You said it's a Fresh Start seminar, right?
Correct.
Is the information down here correct?
Yes, Fresh Start seminar tomorrow from 2 to 6 EST. Perfect.
Beautiful, beautiful. So give us the skinny, what's going to go on, what we can expect, and what we're going to do tomorrow.
These events we're obviously pushing a lot of different events at the same time and kind of pulling a lot of irons off the ground. So what this event is meant to do is to get information out to job seekers on how to get this, or how to interview virtually and find jobs remotely and get like all this done without leaving your house, and just kind of put them in front of some career coaches and career executive advisors to help them pivot in their career. If you're trying to grow in your career, we have some very valuable resources thanks to Janayat Iqbal, Christopher Nesbitt, VJ Niles have all reached out into their network and brought in some really nice people to come in and help us. This is gearing up towards is a monthly job fair we intend to host, and we are reaching out. We have some job recruiters ready for that. We're still reaching out to places like Amazon and Google, pardon me, to get set up for those. But we do have a few of the higher end grocery stores that are adding 10,000 jobs. If you look in the LinkedIn notes, who's hiring now, that's a great place to find leads for recruiters for your job fair, if that's something you want to set up. But it is something we're looking to do on a monthly basis and be able to provide a networking between job seekers and job havers, employers. So tomorrow will be an informational seminar, and that's why we pivoted it that way, because we didn't want to rush too quickly onto a job fair and not have enough recruiters or not have enough attendees. So we are doing the informational seminar first, but it will be a monthly event that we host.
That's very, very cool. So you said that you've been partnering up with some people lately to try to get this job fair going. Can you give us some insight as to what sort of connections you've been able to make, and perhaps even how you've used LinkedIn to facilitate that and to grow your network while you've been working from home and having this whole idea?
Absolutely. Pardon. Absolutely. I got the COVID. I hope not.
Let's hope you didn't catch the Rona.
Right. I would left the house in 2 weeks. I shouldn't. But yeah, so in answer to your question, it falls right in line with the golden seeds you were covering yesterday. I spent about 8 months on this platform without putting out content and without using grow posts and things of that nature. I have just over 400 connections, but they're valuable and actionable connections. They're real connections. So I spent about 8 months here commenting on other people's content that I wanted to see pushed in the world, and let them connect with me. I don't really send connections out unless it's something that's really resonating with me. But I just go out there and I comment with substance and value and let people reach out to connect with me, and I make sure I respond. I actually take 1 day a week where I go through all of my hundreds of chats, and it takes like all day just to make sure I'm not losing anybody and I'm staying connected. And so it was a slow build. It took about 8 months. And through that, I was able to make connections that have allowed me to leverage the 24 streamers that want to be involved with Infinity Streamers. We've got business investors and advisors that want to invest in the company, and we're kind of shying away from that. One of the biggest pillars of Infinity Streamers is that we don't want to be our content associated with advertising dollars and so on and so forth. As you know, that suppression and all of that kind of thing go on. So as long as the streamer is people and value first, each of our streamers has been vetted for people and value first, and like worrying about profit and branding down the line, those kind of things come if you're just putting good out in the world. So we are going to follow the old PBS model, brought to you by you, and as long as we're bringing you value and entertainment, we feel like that it's something the world wants, and they'll support it how they can. And I like that a lot better because cable prices are soaring, satellite prices are soaring, and the content is just degrading, in my opinion. So that's what we're hoping to do with that. But yeah, that's how I've kind of been able to leverage my connections, because I built them the right way instead of on grow posts where I could reach out to 40,000 people and 5 of them answer me and 2 of them can help.
Absolutely. And we did talk about that. I'm glad you mentioned the Golden Sea. I actually went through today and made its own banner just for the Golden Sea of LinkedIn. We'll do the same thing as we did yesterday. So for those of you who are not here, the Golden Sea is our method. It's a 4-step process to building authentic connections on LinkedIn. And you will hear it right here on Bowtie Up Live. If I get 3 comments from the audience members, and only 1 comment counts per person. Yeah, adding that rule this time. I've learned. I'm getting wiser, right? Yeah. 1 comment per person. Let's throw 3 of those saying drop the Golden Sea like you see over here in the banner, and we will go through it and guide you through this 4-step process. And I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to miss this. It is incredible content created and curated by none other than Sydney Jones. And if you know Sydney, you know it's going to be good.
Good.
So I want to see those drop the Golden Seas, not over there, over here in the comments.
Not on me.
While I keep
not on Frank.
I already said drop the Golden Sea. I put up a whole banner for it. And Frank over there, is that a metal cup?
We've gotten several comments about it, so I have to introduce everyone to Frank. Frank, I don't bring Frank out too often, but I'm in a mood today. I'm in a take on the world sort of mood, and so I thought it only fitting to drink coffee from the skulls of my resin-casted enemies. So, those of you who are coveting it can get your own damn mug on Amazon for like $20.
And it'll come in like, we don't know when, actually.
Right.
Or you can ship it to me, I'll sign it, charge you, some outrageous shipping and handling fee, and maybe I'll even put my picture with it, and I'll do this.
Ooh, we got one person saying to drop the Golden Sea. Just quick shout out to Charlie Powers. Thank you, sir. Now back to your regularly scheduled interruption.
I love you. I love this. I just need that to be known that I love what you've been doing with this show.
Thanks, man. I just like chilling out with all of you guys. Oh, darn it, over here, the audience. You're who I like hanging out with.
Yeah,
I hang out with these two fellas, and they're cool
off
too.
screen, I don't know. I'm pointing at somebody's kneecap.
Yeah, well, if it was your kneecap that was being pointed to, and you feel personally victimized, please let us know in the comments below. And we'll try to educate Lee.
I will
on how not
thoroughly
point
pretend to give a rip.
I've never seen that
That's all
happen.
we can ask.
Just throwing that out there. Never seen you actually pretend to give a rip. This is the guy, Lee, one of his favorite sayings is have a day. Not have a good day or have a bad day, just have a day.
Have a day.
It is the most terrifically apathetic thing that I have ever heard, and almost as classic as blowing a kiss to incredibly masculine men to make them mad at you. That's kind of my specialty. I'm really good at that. It's great.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
It'll light you up like a Chinese New Year. All right.
For sure. Have a day.
Yes.
Have a day.
Have a day.
I'll take a day.
So, moving on, we got one comment for the Golden Sea. Remember, I want to see 3, and that's 6, but 3. We need 2 more, 2 to go. Drop a Golden Sea in the comments over here as I point to the wrong place again. Drop it. It was Charlie's knee that you pointed to, Lee.
Yep.
We're sorry, Charlie.
Okay. Yeah, my bad.
So, going
at least
back,
it was from a socially accepted, or what, social distance, whatever.
it was very distanced. I'm actually surprised that we haven't had to put the videos further apart to make sure that we're not spreading anything through osmosis. So we've talked about Remo. We've talked a little bit about Infinity Streamers. We've talked a little bit about edutainment. We've talked about the job fair. But what we haven't talked about is that yesterday on the show, Matthew had a terrific question. He asked in Coffee and Conversations, coming at you every Monday, was why Lee and I started the show. We got to answer that. But what I want to know, Matthew, now that you're here with us, is why you started Infinity Streamers.
The concept from Infinity Streamers kind of went like this. It started very small. I've been executive producer on Junaid Iqbal's LinkedIn live show, LinkedIn Insomnia. Available randomly whenever we decide to do it. Fairly often, 2 or 3 times a week. And so we were ramping up the number of episodes that we do just to get some valuable information out there, vetted information. We had Robert Hillman from Abbott Labs who worked on the 5-minute test. He's a senior scientist at Abbott Labs. So we had him on the show just to break down some factual information. And a lot of the feedback we were getting is people just thanking us for providing that kind of stable place where they can come. And we did talk about COVID and put information out there, but it was vetted information. And we're talking about hot dogs and fireworks in between. So they were just thanking us for that place where they can kind of get away from it all for a couple hours. And so I had the thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could provide that all the time? And like when you were down, you could go into this like the show Cheers where everybody knows your name. And so wouldn't it be wonderful if we could provide this place that you can come anytime you're feeling down and kind of get that little pick-me-up and not feel alone, especially in this time of quarantine and isolation. So we started reaching out to other streamers that we know that kind of have that people, well, not kind of, but definitely have that people and value first focus on their content. And we started asking them about starting an infinity stream where we stream 24/7, 365, and we're able to just link them back to back to back. And so people would always come and kind of get that same flavor, but each show is very, very different. And so as the concept kind of grew along, we just realized it would be a lot easier to host the stream on the website. And that became, well, why don't we just host multiple streams on the website? So instead of doing a model like Twitch where anyone can just jump in and stream and you got to wade through this massive content to find what you're looking for, find your value, we've decided to like make the website a place where our vetted streamers can stream to, and then we'll have a featured stream up in the top that keeps going 24/7, 365 with a highlighted show of each hour. So that's kind of where the concept came from. In answer to your question is we just wanted to provide that place where you can come and get away from things for a couple of hours, get that familiar feel with people that you feel like you know, and you really do grow to know. Like some of my most valuable connections have come from the Linked Insomnia live show because the audience engagement, we take their questions, we give them answers, we share jokes with them and stories. So it's kind of nice if you've ever been in that place at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and you're just living alone, you haven't seen anyone in a few days, and you're kind of getting in that dark spot. It's amazing what we can do virtually nowadays. And so that's where the concept of infinity streamers started and how it kind of evolved into what it is now.
That's incredible, and that's such a awesome goal to have to really help those who are down, because especially right now, and even before everything happened with COVID, one thing that I noticed amongst a lot of entrepreneurs is that we're all very busy, of course, but we're all very kind of lonely, you know, like we don't really have a whole lot of connections that we can make with people, because when you have your own business, like your livelihood is on the line, like everything that you have is on the line, everything that you do is to build this thing that people don't really understand just what it is and the work that goes in and the amount of time that you have to put in, and that it's not a game. You know, it is something that is very, very difficult for you to do day to day, and it gets overwhelming, it gets very stressful, and you end up feeling very isolated. So having that place that you can go where you know that you're going to be surrounded and really involved with people who are similar to you and who know what you're going through and your actual struggles, who can give you sound advice when you need it. I mean, having that one person that you can go to, having those 5 people that you can go to, what a difference it makes when we talk about really keeping our sanity, especially right now. And on top of all that stress you guys used to have, now your entire market is dried up. All of your prospects have vanished, poof, disappeared. All of the clients who you thought were going to net 30 pay you are no longer paying you because they don't have the funds because of COVID. And all of this work that you just did, you feel like is for naught. So it's definitely needed right now.
Exactly.
And I would also just add to that if any of y'all out there are feeling like that and you're just in general feeling like shit and like you don't know how to go on, drop in the inbox of one of us. Like I hope I speak for everyone here, and I know I do when I say to jump in our inbox, let us know. Just like, hey man, like I would love to chat and just get a friend for a while. Like I'm having a shitty time at life. Like that's kind of what we do all this for. Like we care about people. We care about you. Like you're all special. So
I would clear my whole schedule for that situation.
Yep. And those are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with. I mean, we talked about it on one of the shows. I can't remember if it was with Sydney or who it was with. I'm sorry if I'm attributing the wrong person, but it was about the people you surround yourself with and how they really influence your reality and your perspective and your skill sets and your motivation, your desire, everything. So pick those awesome people and those great connections that are really going to benefit you and make you feel valuable.
Absolutely. Well said.
I get on my soapbox sometimes too. Mine typically goes around that whole like support, motivation, inspiration, because I mean anyone who's ambitious will tell you that it does not come from success, it comes from failure.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
That's the number one skinny of it, you know. Yep. So
yeah. I do love how you highlighted businesses in that as well, because it's not just for like the whole point of infinity streamers is to take you wherever you are in your life and get you where you want to go, or at least give you the tools and access to the advice and the experience and the tools that you need to get there. For example, we have a recovering addict and he's been in recovery for about 12 years and he's super energetic and he has all these awesome stories to share with his recovery and how to get there. So, and we've got all the way up to Damon Pistolka, who helps businesses grow to the size they want to be and then sell your business and start another business and so on. So, and everything in between. So whether you're an addict who's struggling to get into recovery, or you've grown to, you're an employee who wants to be an entrepreneur, or you're a small business that wants to scale up, or you've scaled up and you're ready to liquidate this asset and move on to your next adventure. Like we have all of those kind of resources and tools and advice for you wherever you're at in life.
And what we have to do now is one of my favorite things to do, which is stop the show and say hello. Thank you so much, Matthew, for talking to us a little bit about Infinity Streamers. Got a couple of awesome hellos in the audience to say. Thank you so much to Jordan Mendoza for joining us and saying hello. Hello, Jordan. How's it going, man? Hope you're having a wonderful day today. And Kit Daga jumping in saying Golden Sea, which, by the way, we got 3. So y'all get the Golden Sea today. But, and Kit, thank you for jumping in and for that awesome comment that actually pushed us over the line to get that 3 for the Golden Sea. And then also VJ Niles, who has been brought up a couple of times in the show. So shout out to you, saying Infinity Streamers is going to be amazing. And I couldn't agree more. I'm very, very excited for it. Now, you guys asked for the Golden Sea. And yesterday we made you wait. We dripped it over the entire show. But we don't have that kind of time. We got maybe 20 minutes max. So we'll do 1 Sea, 1 portion of the Golden Sea every 5 minutes until we go off of live at 5:20. That is 1 Sea every 5 minutes, so hang in and you will see what's going on. So, going in at the very top of the Golden Sea with rule number 1, and remember this is forging authentic connections on LinkedIn. Before you do anything, comment. If you want to connect with somebody, comment on their posts.
Yes.
If you want to interact with somebody, if you want to get any sort of connection or any sort of synergy flowing, you've got to comment. You've got to comment with substance. And you have to comment for them. Don't comment for you. Comment for them. Comment something that's going to push their post forward, and it's going to push your understanding or their understanding forward so that you're both getting value out of it. Because the key here, and the reason why it's a Golden Sea, is that it's always going to hold its value. It's the key to making you valuable on LinkedIn. That's all it is. We're all so valuable with the knowledge and the insights that we have. We just forget that sometimes. So rule number 1 of the Golden Sea is to comment with somebody before you do anything else.
Right.
Thank you. And the next Golden Sea coming at you live in about 5 more minutes.
Man, Alex, you're so good at this. It's like, this is wonderful. All I got to do is show up. I don't have to do squat.
Great.
This is amazing.
And I like changing stuff. So you guys see a lot of change.
Right, yeah, it's a great announcement.
Seriously, this is amazing, and I'm enjoying listening to the conversation here. So please go on. I just wanted to. I know he gets aggravated when I compliment him, which is why I do it all the time. So we gotta keep him in line and make sure that he's appreciated, even though he doesn't want to be.
Not at all. I like what I do. But back to your regularly scheduled interruption, Lee, you mentioned it, brother. We have not heard a whole lot from you today. So we're going to put you on the spotlight a little bit. In today's topic, we're talking all about getting hired and finding remote work. So how do you find your remote gigs? How do you come across a new client? What do you do to seek out new business, Mr. Rowley?
Okay. Well, I'm going to preface this with I've been doing this for 12 years. And so I've had a lot of time to make a lot of mistakes. And what I subscribe to is Naval Ravikant's 4th type of luck. He says there's 4 types of luck, and I may be misquoting here, but he was like blind luck, dumb luck, luck that you really work hard for. And then there's the 4th type of luck when you become so uniquely you and you do something so valuable and so unique that luck starts to find you. And so that's the type of luck that I ascribe. I've tried the first 3, and it just didn't really work out. And I tried to be what people wanted me to be here on LinkedIn, and on Facebook, and on Instagram, and do what I thought would fit in. Here's what you do. You follow the gurus. They tell you, you follow this format, you follow this template, you follow this structure. Out pops money somehow. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that for any of us. And so for me, success finally started coming when I stopped telling everybody, tell me what the heck to be, and just started saying, you know what? I've tried it every other friggin' way. I'm just going to be me. And if you don't like it, get out of my way, because somebody else will. And that's really what it comes down to. So 1, bravado. 2, building a personal brand. I'm a solid believer in building a personal brand that you can take anywhere, because I can start any kind of business and I can take this entire audience with me. And I can tell you 90% of them would be like, okay, cool. So it's being able to have that portability of your universe, your audience that you create, that you can take with you as your business and as your needs and as their needs evolve. Don't think of it as, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to do this for the next 40 years. We're done with that. You decide what you want to do for people, you keep evaluating those needs, and you keep adapting what you do as you go along. It can fit in the same theme, but it's not going to be the same thing. It's not going to look the same 2 years or 5 years or 10 years from now.
And Lee, you bring up something absolutely incredible. Well, a lot of things, but one of the things is the difference between a business and a brand. And if I had to put it simply, all I would say is that a business is something that you buy items from. A brand is something you buy ideas from. You go to Lee because you want his ideas. You want his mindset. You want the way that he's going to connect with your clients. You go to another copywriter because you want an item, you want a template, right? You want a copy in a can that you can just pick up off the shelf, scan out at the checkout, and pop it on your website, and all of a sudden it's making you money, right? Just somehow.
Yeah.
That's the difference, and that's what you've got to keep in mind, is that when you can go from being an item to being an idea, you're going to have a lot better success in your business and in your day-to-day life. And that's actually one of the biggest things that Lee has ever helped me work on. It took him 2 years to get me to actually go into any sort of brand for my business or for myself or our message, what we do, even the services that we offer. I mean, it was a whole problem trying to get me to where I could actually explain what we do, because I'm in tech, in one sentence, succinctly, without just throwing in tech terms or confusing people. So definitely a master over here, and shout out to Lee for that.
Oh, thank you. Hey, it looks, I scared some people off too, so that's always fun. It's fun when you go on a little rant and lose half your audience. It's like, they'll be back.
It's okay. You kept the good one.
Don't want to see what other rants we have in store.
Separate and lose. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. I'm totally cool with that. You can live your life the way you want, just as peacefully as one. Just keep it over there, okay?
Or
I don't want to hear about it.
Over here. If you don't agree with Lee, let me know. I love these discussions. Like, come on. Please, interact and tell us. Say, hey, man, I really don't think that that's accurate. Or the golden C, which we're going to do next step in about 2 minutes. Man, if you don't like one of those steps, or you just don't think it's going to work, like, challenge us. We love this stuff. We love talking. We love interacting. Drop your questions over here, too. Darn it, I keep pointing the wrong way. Drop your questions over here, and we can answer them, too. We've got the time set aside for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Well, we're moving right along, doing very well with this. We ticked off the Lee rant. Which I know people were. I know that was a nail biter. There were some people. So there were like 6 people out there going, "Is he going to rant today, or is he not?" I know he's going to explode at some point, but I just don't. It's still that willy won't sort of thing. So now that we've got out of the way, Matthew, do you want to take this on, or do we want to do C number 2 since it's about time?
We will do C number 2 after. I'm so sorry to interrupt, Matthew. Go ahead, man.
Nope, I was saying the same thing you were. I think it's about time for C number 2.
Actually, it's time to stop the show. Say hello to our friend, Damon Pistulka. Sorry, I'm horrible with names. Damon, thank you for joining us. You're incredible. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You don't judge me for my horrible pronunciations. Judge me off of the second step of the Golden C instead, which is incredible. So when we're going back to the Golden C, and for those of you who are just joining us or just catching back up, this is the Golden C of LinkedIn, a topic come up by Sydney Jones and refactored by Rob Howes, Lee Rowley, and myself live into the golden rule of connecting authentically on LinkedIn. To recap, number 1 is the comment. The first step to an authentic connection, a golden valuable connection, comment on that other person's post. Now, after you comment and you've been able to interact maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe they're interacting back. That's when you move on to step 2, which is connect. Build authentic connections with people that you can relate to and people that you can bring value to. That's the key, because you're valuable. Things that you do are very valuable. You just need to connect with other people who are valuable as well, and you can bring value to each other, because once you have that connection, you're going to see each other's content throughout the day, and you're going to be able to interact even more and build an even better connection. And notice here, it's one of my favorite things to point out after step 2, because we're halfway through the Golden C. In no way did we say cold message your audience with a templated script. That is not in the Golden C. Templated messages are not in the Golden C. Unprovoked cold messages, not in the Golden C. It's inauthentic. We can tell you're copying and pasting. And just because you start out your message with, hope you and your family are in good health. Here, buy this cool SaaS product that I'm selling to scale you from 0 to $1 million annual recurring revenue. Hope you're staying safe. You can literally read in between the lines. Like, look at it like that. Like, we're not stupid. Get out of your Word document and get into your headspace. Get something authentic and come back later. And then you're going to be able to interact with the people that you want to interact with. Because what comes in comes out. And what you go out and what you put out influences who's going to come in. And if you put out crap, can't be upset about what comes in. But that's rule number 2 for the Golden Sea, which is kind of funny that we had a crap reference in there, but I'm just going to let that one go. So step number 3 of the Golden Sea will be coming back to you in around 5 minutes at 5:10 p.m. right before we get ready for final thoughts. So thus far, just let us know, what do you think of the Golden Sea? Do you think it's good, bad? You're going to go out and connect? You're going to start to build these connections? You thinking about some comments you can write? Have you thought about the difference between a authentic comment, or have any questions about how to authentically comment or how to connect? Just let us know. Drop them over here. That's what we're here for. Apparently, I'm not here for pointing the right way. But that's what we're here for over here in the comments. So thank you in advance with this 10-second delay. Gentlemen, back to you.
So, with this cut and paste thing, just as we're talking about that, I want to throw out, and I've talked about this before, but the one gentleman who sent me the same cut and paste message 3 times, I think, I didn't respond the first time, but like that third time, man, Mama told me that was a charm. Well, Mama's gonna get you smacked. Is what's gonna happen. Because I went at her, but I'm just like, look, I can rewrite this thing so it actually works, and so people want to respond to it. And the guy responds, it is, suddenly broken English that he gets 60% conversions all day long, local traffic, he doesn't have anything to worry about.
Sure.
I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. He's not here on LinkedIn to make fake friends and play nice. He's here to sell.
Then you should not be on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Not the platform for you. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I know that was supposed to impress me into wanting to buy from you, but it just somehow did not tug on my shriveled little heartstrings enough. So
I mean, you can have a 60% conversion ratio selling $1 pencils with a 100 pencil a month transaction volume, or I could have a 1% conversion ratio selling a $20,000 product that I sell 1 of a month, and you can have a whole year and not catch up. Conversion ratio is not going to impress people. We are sorry. Our condolences for your broken ego. Thank you.
I highly suggest he connects with KJ Wong. Constantly
drop them in the comments. Drop that link in the comments of who we should connect with, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is a LinkedIn luminary. That's right, LinkedIn luminaries, those who we call out on the show as being absolutely incredible content, the ones that we cannot live without. I always have Sidney Jones. He is my luminary for sure. And then we got Matthew jumping in here with...
Ooh, today we're going to highlight KJ Wong in honor of Lee's rant to these Bitcoin miners and cold salesmen. KJ Wong constantly posts sales tips on LinkedIn and how to actually sell on LinkedIn and get what you want by providing the value for your customer. Tip number 1, which would solve the person selling Lee's problem: know your customer. Find out what they're looking for first. Don't start pitching right away. Gain information.
Yes.
And to be honest, if you send a cut and paste pitch to a copywriter, you're really just asking for what you get for. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate to blame the victim here, but
it's true. Yeah. Don't. If there's anyone in the world that you can pick who to send a cut and paste message to, the copywriter should be at the bottom of the list. The very, very last.
Especially one who
writes creatively for a living. Yeah, one with a bow tie. His tagline is he rides shotgun in your buyer's subconscious. And you think a cut and paste message is the best thing you can send him.
The phrase tone deaf comes to mind, but let's go on.
Yes, it does.
I could rant all day, but I shan't.
I have a wonderful, wonderful interjection here. We're ready for step 3 of the Golden Sea, which I know you guys are so anxious about. And just to bring everybody back up to speed about 5 minutes later, the Golden Sea of LinkedIn is our method to authentically connect with your audience and the people you want to engage with on LinkedIn. Step 1 is to comment. Comment in an authentic way, in a meaningful way that's going to push a conversation forward. Step 2, connect. You've commented it a couple of times. Now it's time to connect to make sure that you're seeing their content on your feed so that you can connect with them more and comment on more of their things, add more value, and you start to forge a connection, a relationship, really. Step 3, this is content. See, this is where you start putting out that content for those connections that you've already made, because you've commented on their stuff, you know what they're saying, you've connected with them, you know that they're going to see what you have to say now, and that gives you a wonderful opportunity to put out content that these people are going to see and they're going to read, so that you do have an option to interact with them. You do have an option to ask questions to your audience and ask questions to your connections. That's going to help you understand even your market. That's going to help you understand your customers. That's going to help you get closer to what they care about. It's a great opportunity to interact with people on a level that they want to respond, because that's what LinkedIn's all about. It's about these connections. It's about that interaction. So put out content that is thought-provoking, put out content that's encouraging people to interact, and now you in this connection, man, you're thick as thieves. You're like butter melted together, man. You've commented on each other's stuff, you've connected with each other, and now you're both putting out content that you're interacting with. Oof. Talk about a lead warming up process. And you all know what's next. Step 4 of the Golden Sea coming at you live in about 5 minutes EST, or 5:17. We will update the ticker. And as we run over the 5:10 mark, we are approaching one of my other favorite parts of the show, other than responding to comments and changing the ticker, which is final thoughts. And y'all know final thoughts is where we take 45 seconds, a minute and a half, or however long we really please, and we talk about what's on our mind for the day and the last thing that we want to leave you, the audience, with before we sign off for the day. So coming up next will be at 5:17. We're going to go after Rule 4 of the Golden Sea. I'll keep it brief, and then we can go into our final thoughts and leave you guys for the day so that you can have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Now, jumping back here, Matthew, because I know there are some people who have joined us who are not around for the beginning of the show. Let's just talk about this event that you have coming up tomorrow. I know that there's 2 of them. So Infinity Streamers is doing a couple of awesome things, and we highly, highly recommend you join an event tomorrow, a career fair that Matthew is hosting. So tell us a little bit about that event and how we can interact with it, Matthew.
Absolutely. Tomorrow, between the hours of 2 and 6 Eastern Standard PM, we're hosting a Fresh Start seminar, and we're having Monique Davis is going to present for us for about 30 minutes. About how to get ready for your job and how to seek out a job in today's climate. And after that presentation, we're going to have available a number of recruiters, executive coaches, career coaches, and general advisors as far as your resumes go and whatnot. And that way we're attempting to empower people with the information and tools that they need to go ahead and find a job remotely right now in today's environment, and to get that job when they go for it. So all of the attendees for tomorrow's event, which again is from 2 to 6 EST, will receive in their email a ATS-friendly resume format, some podcast episodes from nodegree.com, and a number of links to companies that are currently hiring right now, both remotely and boots on the ground for our logistics infrastructure in the U.S. We do have a recruiter from the UK who hires there, and Australia coming also. But again, it's primarily a seminar and an informative event tomorrow. Now, as soon as that ends at 6 p.m. EST, we will be kicking off the Info Networking event. And that is an event where it's an ongoing, never-ending networking event, where if you're just feeling lonely, you want someone to talk to, or you want to make some real solid connections, step 2, right? Get connected. Get connected. And so to bring that connection offline and out of text, Remo has video and voice, and you sit at tables with 5 other individuals and just kind of share your experiences, ask your questions. We do have booths set up again during the career seminar tomorrow for you to ask your questions and get advice on how to do an interview remotely, how to do your resume, and so on and so forth, and what kind of things you want to highlight and what kind of things you don't want to highlight in that atmosphere. So that's what we have going on tomorrow, the kickoff of the career seminar from 2 to 6 p.m. EST, and I will drop that link in the comments one more time. And afterward, the Info Networking event forever. So feel free to use that link anytime after 6 p.m. tomorrow until $20.99. So
Wow, $20.99. That's a lot of networking.
Wow.
I definitely would consider that to be of the infinite caliber. And you'll know what time it is. As promised, we will be coming with the fourth rule of the Golden Sea in about 48 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and get it queued up here. Matthew just did us all a solid and dropped the link for the career fair tomorrow. So make sure you tune in from 2 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. Those of you who are not in Eastern, mind your conversions, as I'm sure you are all aware. That was one of the early things that you learn, is to make sure to take into account the time conversions. Currency will come next. Currency is a fun one to deal with because the interchange rates. Now, coming at you with step 4 of the Golden Sea as we move into the final part of the Wonderful Sea, and then we will go through a review. Step 4 is the call. Step 4 is the time where you've connected with somebody, your thickest thieves. You know, you guys actually somewhat know what sort of content the other person is going to be putting out. That's when you can offer to hop on a phone call with them and get to know them more, get to know their business more, get to know their objectives more, you know, some of their personal goals even more, what they've really got working on and what's behind that curtain of this is who I am on LinkedIn, and to see who they are as an entrepreneur, as a business leader, or whatever it is that they might be. So step 4 is the call. Mind 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, not 1. And cold messages do not count. Those are not part of the Golden Sea. Those are like the brown turd sea. We don't want that. It's Golden Sea. Golden Sea. And to take it from the top, the wonderful Golden Sea of LinkedIn, running through 30 seconds. Can I do it? Step 1, comment on somebody's posts, 2 to 3 comments maybe, so that you can finally start to interact with them and build meaningful content for them. Step 2, forge a connection with that person. After you've been able to comment and get some interaction there, you can forge a connection saying, hey, enjoyed your content, would love to see some more of it. Now, after you are connected, that's when you put out content that is thought-provoking, engaging, interactive, and going to move towards the buyer's journey and experience with you, of knowing you as an individual and as a professional. And finally, step 4 is where you jump on that phone call. You now know them, you are tight with them, and you say, hey, let's get to know each other a little bit better to see if there actually is any synergy or anything we can work together in or help each other out for. And that is the Golden Sea of LinkedIn. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments over here. Let us know in the comments over here how we did with that, what you think of the Golden Sea, and how you can follow that moving forward to build more authentic connections as we move in to final thoughts. So Matthew, as our honored guest for today, we will start with you, my friend. You have got 45 seconds or however long you want on the clock in the solo screen layout. Please go ahead.
All right. Well, my final thoughts are this. For the next my lifetime, I'm going to be telling people to get out there and just be kind to one another and just provide what you can to each other. The simple fact is we all have strengths and weaknesses, and what is very easy for you to do may be detrimentally or prohibitively hard for someone else to do. So if you see that, reach out and help them. But I want my final thought focus to actually be Lee Rowley and Alex McDowell, along with the other amazing streamers and people that are coming together and just putting in so much work to make Infinity Streamers happen. As soon as I saw this show, I knew right away that you were perfect for what we're trying to build, and you have that perfect mindset and you have that good heart. And I'm just very thankful to be connected with you and to have you involved with the project. And as I said, we have tons and tons of people putting in lots of work. And so I want to take this opportunity. This is the very first live stream and the very first time that we've reached out to talk about Infinity Streamers and the project that we are launching. And so I want to use my final thoughts to just thank you and the rest of those involved with the project for all of your hard work and for being the kind of person that we can reach out to and build a brand like this in the world, because I think the world wants it so much.
Thanks, man. Like, really humbled. It's dope to, you know, for lack of a better word. Y'all already figured out I can't take compliments. So thanks, dog. You're the bomb, and we love doing it. Yesterday, who was the final thought, Lee? Was it me or you? We'll do the same where we like alternate. You know, it's fun. Lee is muted, so allow me to unmute his mic for him. I can't.
I don't know. Well, I think rock, paper,
I can't unmute you.
Scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Live? Can we do it live? Oh, Spock? Yeah, well, if you use that, you'll win, because I don't know how to do that.
Okay. Okay.
Rock,
paper, scissors.
scissors, shoot.
All right.
Okay. All right, best 2 out of 3?
I don't know. We didn't even decide who was the winner goes or just go. Damn it.
Okay, so I guess I will take final thoughts for round numero uno. So the first thing that I want to say is that we suck at live rock, paper, scissors, as we just found out. And we definitely are going to need to work on that in between now and the next time that we do it, as we get a better structure for delivering our final thoughts, which I love rock, paper, scissors, but whatever. So on a real note, though, thank you so much for tuning in. It really means a lot to us just to hang out for an hour and get to talk to everybody. Hopefully you got to unbuckle just a little bit, take off that work hat for just a second while remaining your business mentality, growth-oriented mindset, and becoming a better person today than you were yesterday. Today we had awesome guest, Matthew, who was able to talk about Infinity Streamers, which is going to be bringing edutainment to you infinitely at all times with awesome streamers that we are very thrilled to get the opportunity to be a part of. So make sure to look out for us on Infinity Streamers, and of course more to come on our LinkedIn profile and / channels. So thank you very much. But like I said, I think I've said it a couple times in a row, be a better person today than you were yesterday. And if you keep doing that every single day, imagine what you're going to be in a week. It doesn't matter if it's a huge step or a tiny step, as long as it's a step. As long as you're moving forward, be proud of yourself. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of what you've built. Be proud of what you've made. Be proud of what you've gone through to be right here, to be the kick-ass person that you are. So be a better person today than you were yesterday, and you will be radical. As we move on to my good friend Lee Rowley for the final thoughts of Final Thoughts.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll go back to the woodshed on my rock, paper, scissors, glittered Spock skills there. Apparently I'm a little rusty, but we'll work it out because we got to have it in, simple things like that. It's just the things that just move people, No, seriously. Thank you, Matthew. My goodness, it's been so awesome having you on and just talking to you in the last couple of weeks, getting involved in Infinity Streamers. I really do believe that this is the future of edutainment on the internet. Dang it, because we say so. And because, these days I'm so dang sick of Netflix and Hulu and whatever that I'm watching this couple in their 60s show us around the residential areas of Vegas where they live and, talking with locals. I'd rather dig into that than I would, another freaking horror movie or another freaking series with a bunch of vapid teenagers stabbing, screwing, or drugging each other. It just, I think we're all just get to that point where we're done with it. And that's where real content with real value comes into play. So honestly, guys, I think we're at the forefront of something huge, and I'm excited to dive into it.
Well said. Rock on, be radical, and we'll see you tomorrow for Bowtie Up Live at 4:19 and 59 seconds Eastern Standard Time.
All right, we want to play us out.